Welcome back to the Headline Roastware. Today's headlines are celestial, spiritual, financial, and slightly apocalyptic. It's Monday, April 21st, 2025. If you woke up thinking, did the Pope die, or did I just dream it? You're not crazy. That happened. Markets are melting, Broadway is upside down, and somewhere in deep space, alien plankton might be throwing a rave. Subscribe now and join the Roast Fam. If you laughed, learned something weird, or just love watching the news get roasted, show us some love and hit that button. We roast the headlines so you can have fun when you commute or sound smart at brunch. Without doomscrolling 5 papers or paying $8 for hot takes, new episodes every weekday and weekend. Story 1. Pope Francis dies at 88. The Vatican confirmed that Pope Francis passed away on Easter Monday at age 88. First Latin American Pope. First Jesuit Pope. The man brought swagger and social justice to the robe game. He was beloved by many, challenged by conservatives, and known for saying things like, "Who am I to judge?" which is pretty progressive for the spiritual CEO of a 2,000-year-old organization. His legacy. Champion of the poor, the planet, and people who don't normally get a Vatican invite. The Church is now entering a sede vacante, period Latin, for "we're taking applications." Expect mourning, processions, and intense Vatican Zoom calls. Also, conspiracy YouTubers are absolutely thriving. Story 2. Wall Street falls 972 points on tariff anxiety. The Dow plunged nearly 1,000 points today, wiping out billions in market value. The cause? Escalating trade tensions and another round of Trump-era tariffs making a comeback tour. Investors panicked. Economists sipped coffee like it's a coping mechanism. Gold spiked. Crypto hiccuped. Meme stocks. Still weird? One CNBC anchor described it as economic turbulence with no tray table. And if you looked at your retirement account today, you deserve ice cream? Story 3. Scientists detect lifelike chemicals on exoplanet. Astronomers spotted dimethyl sulfide in the atmosphere of exoplanet K218b. On Earth, that chemical is produced mostly by plankton and terrible smells. But on this distant world, could be a sign of biological life. NASA's cautiously excited. Twitter is screaming, "Aliens confirmed." And Elon Musk is probably halfway through a press release titled, "SpaceX, Meet the Neighbors." Still, no actual aliens. But it's nice to know there might be something else out there watching us spiral. Story 4. Stranger Things prequel takes over Broadway. Stranger Things. The first shadow opened on Broadway, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Upside down, but with choreography. The story is a 1950s prequel set in Hawkins, before it became the psychic Petri dish we know and love. There's mystery, suspense, lighting tricks, and enough fog machines to choke a demogorgon. Critics are calling it unexpectedly tender. Fans are calling it a reason to fly to New York. And Winona Ryder is still not in it, but spiritually, she's everywhere. This is Netflix's Broadway era. God help us all. Story 5. Supreme Court weighs case that could shake the Fed. The U.S. Supreme Court is hearing a case that could upend the Federal Reserve's independence. At stake, can the White House force the Fed to cut rates, or fire its chair when inflation makes headlines? Jerome Powell showed up looking like a man who's practiced his deep concerned face in the mirror. Legal scholars are watching closely. Trump's camp is calling the Fed rogue, and Biden's just trying not to say the word recession in public. If the ruling goes sideways, we could be looking at interest rate chaos, aka the adult version of playing Jenga during an earthquake. Story 6. Senator meets with deported Maryland resident in El Salvador. Senator Chris Van Halen flew to El Salvador to meet with Kilmer Abrego Garcia, a legal U.S. resident who was deported by mistake despite zero criminal record. The visit highlights growing anger over immigration enforcement misfires. Garcia, who lived in Maryland for 20 years, is now caught in diplomatic limbo. ICE says it's looking into it. Translation. We filed it in the oops folder. Van Halen wants him brought home now. Garcia just wants to return to his job, his family, and a life that doesn't include being yeeted across international borders by a bureaucratic blender. Story 7. The bold and the beautiful gets deep. Daytime drama, The Bold and the Beautiful, just pulled a shocker, revealing that character Liam has an inoperable brain tumor ahead of a massive fashion show. Because what says high couture like neurological tragedy, fans are stunned. Some are moved. And others are just trying to figure out if the brain tumor will get a plot twist too. One viewer tweeted, "I came here for glam, not grief." Still, ratings are up. Never underestimate the emotional pull of slow-motion hospital scenes set to soft piano. Story 8. Broncos plot, first-round pick in NFL draft. With the 2025 NFL draft around the corner, the Denver Broncos are eyeing their first-round pick like it's the last churro in the stadium. Scouts are hyped. And fans are ready to scream at TVs like it's a Super Bowl commercial for linemen. Options include beefing up the O-line, grabbing a QB, or just choosing chaos. It's unclear if management is playing 4D chess, or just flipping a coin and hoping for the best. Story 9. NYC turns 400 and glows up big time. New York City's 400th birthday celebration is hitting peak Renaissance vibes. The Frick collection is finally back. The Delacorte Theater's reopening. The Met is getting a major wing redo. It's a cultural globe that says, yes, rent is crushing, but so is this exhibit. Tourists are flocking. Locals are pretending they knew about these places all along. And somewhere in Soho, a guy named Dante is selling NFT tickets to a poetry reading in a fire escape. Story 10. Retail sales surge 1.4% in March. The U.S. Census Bureau reports a 1.4% jump in retail sales last month. It's the highest monthly gain in over 2 years. Translation. People are still spending like their budgets are backed by vibes and afterpay. Analysts say it shows consumer confidence. We say it shows everyone lost self-control at Target again. From coffee to Crocs, Americans are buying everything but financial security. Somewhere, a debit card is weeping in silence. Brain teaser time. Last episode's answer, Q. If you save $5 a day starting at age 23, and the market returns 7% annually, how long until you can afford one emergency root canal in America? A. 31 years. And only if you don't eat out once. Ever. Today's brain teaser. I have keys, but no locks. I have space, but no room. You can enter, but you can't go outside. What am I? Hint. It's not existential dread, though close. That's your April 21st headline roast. Like, comment, and subscribe, because the Pope's gone. Aliens might be watching, and retail therapy isn't fixing the Fed. We'll see you tomorrow, Roast Fam.